Maxwell averaging 12-1. Larry Bird at 23-7. Parrish at 20 points a game. Dennis Johnson averaging 13.2, and Gerald Henderson at 11.6 points per game. The officials for tonight's ball game, Paul Mahalik and Bill Oates and John McLaughlin. We are just about ready to get underway. This should be some game here tonight.
Eddie, in these two ball clubs, we have outstanding shooting teams from the field. The Lakers, by the way, lead the NBA in field goal percentage at 53%. The Celtics at 50%. And when you look at the differential in regard to what they shoot and what the opposing team shoots, it's an outstanding differential. And a lot of coaches, and of course those of us that follow the game, like to look at that and really judge how good is your defense. These two teams can do it at both ends quite well.
Magic Johnson and the Lakers averaging 116 a game. Boston just under 114. They double team the big man, Byron Scott. He has started the last 10 games for Los Angeles, and the rookie from Arizona State has been there, and they have won 8 and lost 2. They have a 7-game winning streak. The Celtics have just had a 9-game winning streak busted, but they have been on a tear. They've won 15 of the last 17 and 29 of the last 34. That's Maxwell. They double down on the ball. Henderson. Tough to stop. Rebound. Magic Johnson, among the best in the league for rebounding guards. To Scott. And the Lakers, who have not had a lot of success in this building of late. They've lost 5 of the last 6 that they've met the Boston Celtics at, and they jump out to a 4-0 lead. Cornbread Maxwell, he's having a better year. Off season last year. Bird has been terrific as usual. The Birdman. Boston 21-3 at home. The Lakers 13-9 at home. Violation backcourt. Give it over to Boston.
Turnover, and of course running teams will turn the ball over at times, and both of these clubs will get out and go. Now the Celtics a lot stronger inside than the Lakers. The Lakers a bit more of a finesse team in that respect. We're going to see some doubling down, and we're going to see the Lakers defense now as it's set up, Eddie. And here comes Parrish from the weak side open. They're going to try to pack it back in a little bit more and give the outside shot, but not too obviously if they can help it.
Spread it out. Magic needs room to work. They'll bump him when they can. Try and take the pressure off. Steal by Worthy on the Bird pass. And James Worthy gets Los Angeles a 6-2 lead.
You don't see Bird make that type of mistake often. He just let the ball go and it went to Worthy.
And we have a foul call inside. And it is going to be on number 42, James Worthy, I believe.
Yes, that's right, Eddie. And of course, Cornbread Maxwell, really one of the good post-up players in basketball. The Celtics as a team are players that draw a lot of fouls thanks to people like Bird on the jumper, Maxwell inside, and McHale when he comes in. Parrish, they all go to the line a lot.
You saw Larry Bird at his best. He doesn't have to square it up. That's a play they run here, and they run it so well, and Bird hits the pair. The big man, still the king, Abdul-Jabbar. You don't think Jabbar's been a big plus to this team? In the last 3 games, he has led them. They wouldn't have won had he not been there, says Pat Riley. Magic reading from the weak side. On the lead pass, off the shade defense, up ahead. Jamal too far under. That's Gerald Henderson. Bird, a little shake and bake, and a pair.
Well, Bird counters quickly. What a great pass by Magic Johnson to Wilkes. Wilkes was just a little too far under the basket.
Worthy just learning what he can do. He's concentrating more on the power position, and Jamal Wilkes is what I call a silent assassin. He goes out with that velvet hammer every night and just delivers. You know he's going to get his 18 to 20. He's going to get 7 rebounds, and he's going to make very few mistakes. And his job is Larry Bird. How can he do? Well, that time, Mr. Bird rung the bell.
Well, this is going to be a real matchup problem. Well, not problem, because they can both score at each end. And I'm talking about the forwards on both of these clubs. Worthy and Wilkes have to contend with bigger players and post up inside with Bird and Maxwell.
Parrish and the reject. Cornbread. And no foul. Here comes Worthy. And there's Magic in the open court. Left wing, right wing trailer, Byron Scott. And the rookie from Arizona State, who has got tremendous concentration and is going to be a power in this league for a long time. He's the apple of Jerry West's eye, and West is the fellow said, we have to have him, and he has been a difference lately. Bird. And Bird with 10. It's 12-10. It's the Lakers 12 and Bird 10. Henderson with a steal. There are your track shoes. Pass the baton. And Worthy with a steal and a backcourt foul. Oh, boy. Right on at the top. You knew that they were going to come out just roaring and raring to get at one another.
A lot of turnovers early in this game, and actually, Eddie, some of these passes by both clubs very careless, not even sharp in some situations on a number of them. But both these clubs will move the ball around, and get this, the Lakers average almost 31 team assists a game. They move it around well.
That is the king. And when he gets it down in the low hole, you're going to have to get help. The Celtics know they're going to have to give help. K.C. Jones said that they would do that before the game.
Right. K.C. Jones says, as we look at it again, of course, Kareem a little bigger, a little stronger than Parrish, backs in and then gets that move into the hook. And once he gets into that position, it's almost an impossible situation for the defense. But K.C. Jones says we want to try to double up on Kareem as much as we can, not necessarily with an assigned person. It's not always going to be the shooter's man or the weak side man. But Kareem is so tough to play that they don't want to take that much out of Parrish.
69% at the line this year. The big man who has scored 29, 27, and 33 the last three and hit a sweeping sky hook with 12 seconds against Indiana to win one for the Lakers last night. And he just came up with a foul, shoving big Robert Parrish. Here's Abdul. He's 7'2 plus. Parrish is almost 7'1. They both tipped the Toledos at 230 and over. And Parrish from Centenary, the recipient of the Jabbar foul. There's Bird. Backdoor, Dennis Johnson, too far under. Got out of the lane before it went to 3 seconds, and DJ on the miss. Rebound by Magic. He's good for better than 7 of those a night. Soaring like a bird. And over Bird, and the Lakers with 1, 2 offensive rebounds and 2 points to add to it.
And the Lakers getting out quickly on the break. The Celtics know that. Bird was back in good position. Obviously no foul called, and Worthy can really go up. And look at Maxwell.
And Maxwell slipping in the weak side. Worthy, Maxwell on the foul. Worthy was the man that committed it.
Well, Worthy getting a little taste of his own medicine, knowing now I've got to get back on defense quicker. Look, he comes late into the play. Maxwell wide open. He gets no help from any teammate. Therefore, the foul by Worthy. And Maxwell, as I'd indicated, Eddie, he will go to the line as often as almost any player in basketball. Coming into this game, he had been there 283 times. That's the most on their ball club.
And he is the best free throw shooter on their team. At least he was last year. Cornbread Maxwell has delivered and having a much better season this year than he's had in the last couple. He's only 74% at the line this year. Well, John, as we had advertised at the top, Worthy a little bit foul prone, and that's been a concern of Pat Riley. That's the only dimension of Worthy's game that has been deficient of late.
Yeah, and playing against a guy like Maxwell makes it even tougher because you're going to get into that situation. That's an illegal defense call on Maxwell because Worthy was standing way out on the sideline behind the hash mark. Maxwell didn't come up far enough.
You get one of those for nothing. The next one means the other team goes to the technical foul, the free throw line. Byron Scott, you want to see somebody in the open floor. He is sensational. Takes the jumper and misses. The Celtics with the rebound. Dennis Johnson, Maxwell the trailer. Completes the 360. Johnson. He's one of 15 children. He came up the hard way, and he's been a tremendous addition since coming over here from the Phoenix Suns for Rick Roby in the offseason.
Eddie, look how Dennis Johnson has his arms up. Now, that's, of course, Kareem at his best. Good rhythm. They can't let him get to that hook. Dennis Johnson, excellent defensive player, playing Magic Johnson, plays with his hands up in the air so that Magic can't make those key over-the-head passes inside to easy layups.
Hot hands in the backcourt. We've got a foul call. The Lakers with the interception. And Gerald Henderson is tagged with the foul. All right, we're moving along. That's the third team foul on the Boston Celtics. It's the Celtics trailing at 18-14 to the Lakers. And we'll be right back. The hand pressure the guards on top to reduce their ability to get to the offensive boards as well. They know that Kareem has got to stay at home on Robert Parrish. You can't shade to the other people. So that means that Silk is going to have to play Bird straight up. There are the turnovers we just talked about. I think when you reduce it, John, to its common denominator, the Lakers know that they must compete inside if they're going to beat this Boston team tonight.
Now, Michael Cooper is already in the ballgame. James Worthy out. When Cooper comes in, they're going to try to match him up on Bird.
So watch Cooper, who does a good job, and there's a reason for that on the forwards. Ball knocked away, saved by Larry Bird. Michael Cooper will have the job of guarding Larry Bird. He is quicker than most forwards. He has a little bit of a problem when he's guarding the guards because they can break him down. But against the forwards, he can overplay, and he anticipates very well.
And yet, he's a quick player, but when you play against those guards, you have to be tremendously quick. And of course, Cooper uses his quickness to his advantage against the forwards, and Jabbar now going to the jumper as well as the skyhook.
Well, don't forget now, Cooper's also 6'6", so he's kind of that in-between size.
He's a quick 6'6". And by the way, Eddie, when Kareem came into professional basketball years ago with the Milwaukee Bucks, I was playing there with him, and the jump shot is something he had not perfected at all. Good drive by Maxwell, but it's something over the years he's worked on and shoots the jumper extremely well now.
The Celtics are setting a lot of back screens on Kareem. Coming into the middle, back picking him, trying to free Parrish coming across the lane inside. You might watch that, keep it in mind. Cooper. That's Byron Scott to the big man. They double down on the strong side. Back to Kareem, whose safety valve's out, and off the follow-away banker. Ball deflected, Byron Scott. A big 6'4" guard knocking him down. There's the combat boot action we talked about. Little hand-to-hand. And Larry Bird. And Cooper. Boy, I'll tell you, they got some real physical people out there right now. Jamal. And smooth as silk is the former UCLA All-American. Jamal Wilkes in his 10th year. 6 points.
Boy, Eddie, we have yet to see the shot clock even get close to expiring.
No. Going to get some shots off here tonight. Kareem, incidentally, has to make 9 more field goals to pass Chamberlain as the #1 all-time field goal made maker in the league.
That was coming into the game, right?
That's right.
He's already made how many? 4?
He's getting there. And the Celtics hang on to the ball. Kareem has 3 field goals.
Yeah.
Dennis Johnson. Rebound by Magic up to Byron Scott. He does the 360 at the timeline and give it to Magic. He'll go to Scott occasionally, take a little pressure off of Magic because the Celtics look to bump, and we will have a foul call. That's on Robert Parrish. And for Parrish now, he gets #1, and for the Celtics, that's #4, and there's Kurt Rambis. Ideally, Pat Riley would like to have him starting. Eventually, before the season is over with, he will be starting for the Lakers. We have a timeout. And at the 4:06 mark of the first period, it's the Lakers 22 and the Celtics 16. A mano, little hand-to-hand.
Little contact going after the ball here, and of course, sometimes that ball is not quite as easy to come up as you think. Look at this, no foul called here. Dennis Johnson reaches in on Scott to deflect it away, and the ball goes quickly down court. At this point, the Lakers with the advantage on the boards at 9-5, and also shooting the ball quite well, 63%. Boston at 44.
Over the season, the Celtics right around 46 rebounds a game, and the Lakers at 44 rebounds a game. So 2 powerhouse ball clubs, the best of the East and the best of the West. And as we told you coming in, here's what the Lakers are averaging. And against their opponents, their point differential, and that's a number that the coaches look at a lot. And now the Celtics, 113.9 as opposed to 106.5 on points given up. You get an idea about how prolific both these teams are, and they can play some defense. Magic Johnson against Dennis Johnson. No relation. Silk on a Kareem screen, and it's hit. And they run their offense so well. That's another thing that people will say, well, what about these two teams when they get in the half-court game? But they're polished professionals, and they execute very well.
They sure do, Eddie, and I think that we see the Celtics try to go inside a bit more than the Lakers, although the Lakers go to Kareem quite a bit, but they'll run a lot of offense to Wilkes, and Wilkes shoots the jumper on the baseline as good as any player that's ever played.
Now you've got Danny Ainge, who just checked into the ball game. Gerald Henderson without. That last foul was on Kurt Rambis. Inside, there's Rambis putting the body on Maxwell, and we got a 3-second call on the Celtics in the lane. So another turnover for Boston. That's number 7.
And Rambis is a good player to come in and play against Maxwell, who is a good post-up man. Rambis with good size can body.
Down to the big man. They double time him from the top. Kareem tries to get it away, and a traveling violation. He was actually tripped. And the call goes against the Lakers. That's turnover number 6 for Los Angeles.
And you can see Ainge come down from the top to double up on Kareem. Travel on Parrish. You know, actually, Robert Parrish, who is just a fine, fine player, Eddie, but he does travel quite a bit. I'm surprised he doesn't get called more often. He shuffles his feet inside quite often.
Remember the deal that Golden State made with Boston? Parrish and their number 1 in exchange for their number 1 and number 2 pick in the first round. It turned out to be Joe Barry Carroll and Ricky Brown. Well, the other man in that 4-man configuration was Kevin McHale. And he's getting set to come in for Boston right now.
Cooper can play some D. He blocked that, and on that last offensive set by the Lakers, they brought Kareem to the right side of the floor. No help there.
Magic Johnson between the bullseyes. Double screen set down on the left. Now they pop off the top and run a little curly cue with Jamal flashing inside low right. Give it to Kareem, to Magic on the triangle. Wilkes, who came back in the corner. All the options they ran on the play. Up to Danny Ainge. To Bird. Parrish is inside low right. Kareem had a shot at a loose ball. Bird picks it up. Parrish. And now it's 26-18. The Los Angeles Lakers, and Dennis Johnson is yelling at Bill Oates. I believe that's a warning there for delay a game.
Yes, that's what it is, Eddie. And I don't really know what Dennis is upset about. K.C. Jones has something to say also. He's saying it's deflected away. And now watch, look at Dennis Johnson's arms. He keeps them up. I've not seen him play other players like this. He's keeping them up to cut down that passing angle, as I mentioned earlier, on Magic Johnson.
That's a 6'4" guard against a 6'9" guard. And another traveling violation. And we've seen a lot of those, and it's not sloppy basketball, it's just good defensive pressure.
You know, you mentioned the size of the guards, but Dennis Johnson, as you look at Kevin McHale, has tremendously long arms, and he plays a lot bigger even than 6'5".
Parrish and McHale, two of the longest armed players in the league.
Yeah,
they don't have
Johnson,
to jump to cause problems.
Dennis Johnson also, boy, they've got him on that Celtic team.
Wingspan. They belong out there at Logan Airport with the size of those wings. And Rambis gets another foul. You know, here's a fella interesting. Injured most of the first half of the season. Wants to get into that starting lineup. Ideally will be there, and there's a reason for it after the foul.
Isn't that interesting? Now, you saw McHale backing up into Rambis. He disengages to step around and deflect it away. They call the foul on him.
Pat Riley feels that with Rambis in the starting lineup, that will enable Magic Johnson to take a little pressure off himself rather than to find a way to get James Worthy into the scoring flow. Rambis makes his own statement as a player. Worthy has to get the ball and create with the ball. And Pat Riley really feels that with Rambis in there as a starter, it will enable Magic to get Wilkes and Kareem and some of the other people in the offense, and then bring Worthy in off the bench, and he can establish himself later on.
By the way, Eddie, McHale going to the line. He goes to the line the second most on their ball club behind Maxwell.
Kareem coming from the other side. Wilkes and bumped on the way through. And a foul called. And that'll be team foul, let's see, number 5 on Boston. Both teams now are over the limit.
LB not too pleased with that foul, but there's a lot of movement. Wilkes is a player that moves extremely well without the ball. He's going to move around those screens. He's going to be in constant motion, not easy to play.
Jamal with 9. He's well on his way to that figure we talked about. Around 18, 19 points a game and 7 rebounds. Just a solid performer every night. Quiet. Pat Riley says the most coachable player he has in the team. Constantly asking questions.
Eddie, I saw him before the game in the locker room, and he's back here in the East. Oh, good move by Parrish.
Ooh.
Quick move as he gets the ball up high and makes a statement himself. But the point I was going to make, I went into the Laker locker room, and I saw Jamal Wilkes in there with his long johns on. He says, man, it's cold back here.
The Hawk is living in Boston tonight.
There it is.
Parrish has got some quickness, and that's what enables Boston to get out and run the break so well with their big men. Bob McAdoo comes in. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar comes out. Those aren't boos. Those are McAdoo. McAdoo. The big man goes over and sits down. McAdoo's almost a point a minute man. McAdoo averaging about 15 points a game, and he averages about 18, 19 minutes a game.
Remember when he played for Buffalo, Eddie? It was absolutely awesome the way he would put the ball in the basket.
How could you forget 3 consecutive scoring titles back in the mid-70s? He can score. Rambis, they shaded him on top, and then he traveled with the ball. The weak side help came over and forced him into another travel. And again, not sloppy basketball, just a very alert defense.
That's right. He had good position, but because the countering defense was there, it got the turnover.
We're at 28-23. The Lakers with the lead, the Celtics with the ball. Cooper has to fight over the top of the screen, and Bird with a honeycomb. And Parrish with a rebound. Back to Ainge. Look at how they spread out the offense to draw the defense to him and open up the middle. Back to Johnson. Inside pass to the Birdman.
Beautiful execution. They found the open man by moving the ball around, and here we have a turnover.
Bad pass, but Bird lunging to the ball at times. Screened Cooper away, and he couldn't see where it was coming from. Down to the final seconds, 38 seconds. Inside once and twice, and it's Danny Ainge, former BYU All-American.
Ainge showing he can go inside Eddie, but he also has to be one of the key guys to stick the jumper on the perimeter for the Celtics.
Come back by the C's within one. Jump hook on the run by Magic and Bird on the fly. Dennis Johnson right wing. Ainge open left. Celtics with the lead. Pass the baton, baby. The relay is on. 29-28 in the Garden, and they're going wild. McAdoo. McHale is all over him. The kid from Hibbing. And that's the end of one, and it counts at the horn. It's 30-29, and we've got playoff tempo here tonight. After one, it's the Celtics 30 and the Lakers 29.
That's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He's about 100 game, or about, I'm not sure now, maybe 150 games back.
I know that Elvin Hayes claims that that's one of the highlights of his career, durability. And of course, I think that's the test of any great athlete. You do it over. That's why I think Kareem's the king, the best ever that played the middle, because he's done it for all these years. McAdoo with a steal. Underway in the second period. Rambis, hot hands, couldn't hang on. Little traveling violation. And another turnover. That's number 10 for Los Angeles.
And number 3 for Rambis.
And the traveling violations have been very apparent here tonight, again, because of defensive pressure. Both sides with 10 turnovers. Inside to the big man. They've got Rambis on Parrish with Kareem on the pines. Johnson and Dennis Johnson on the follow attempt. Parrish with the loose ball foul. That'll be number 2 on the Chief, Robert Parrish from Centenary.
Eddie, you can see that coming because Rambis is fundamentally sound. He must be. He had good inside position, therefore the foul on Parrish coming over the back.
Magic Johnson orchestrating. He's like a violinist with a Stradivarius in his hand. He knows how to use it. The good ones do.
Yeah,
and the ball kicked out of bounds.
He's thrown it away a couple of times tonight. He put a couple of cracks in that tonight, though.
A couple of cracks in the
Stradivarius.
The bow's not working
right.
Yeah,
the bow.
Blame it on the bow. 30-29 is our score here. The Lakers with a 1-point lead. McAdoo, they set the screen for him. Worthy on the come around. McAdoo. And he gets a nice roll with a soft shot that time. You put it up on the iron, it's always got a chance. The good ones will tell you that.
You must have heard me say that, huh?
Ainge back to DJ. Can't go back door. The door's closed. They double up. Now they go on top with Ainge taking it solo. And it's Worthy. No show and tell. Give it back now to trailing Magic Johnson on the run. McAdoo. Worthy on the foul. Banging over the back of Larry Bird. Inside action caught by Billy Oates inside. And so we've got Worthy with yet another foul, and that's number 3.
Now watch Larry Bird when the shot goes up. He will back up and make contact. You can't quite see it, to be sure that he blocks Worthy out, and therefore Worthy over the back. Good fundamental basketball by Bird.
And we're going to have to get Worthy out of the game, says Pat Riley. So Rambis is set to come in, and Maxwell with an overlay. McHale with a follow, and out of bounds off the hand of the Lakers. So that one-time Laker lead, which was considerable, 10 points, reduced to 1, and now back to 3. And Rambis in, and Worthy goes out with 3 fouls. McHale. He knuckleballs it in.
Yeah, when he turns and faces up with that rocker step, he's about 2 or 3 feet from the defensive man. And McAdoo was so far away from him, it would be difficult to even go after the shot.
Cooper down the low hole to McAdoo. They double down, back to Coop. Now that may not seem like a great shot, but he's their best 3-point shooter, and he was out close to home run range. Johnson tried to shoehorn it inside. Good quick hands, and here's Byron Scott trailing Rambis, and he shows no fear as he goes to the hoop, and he's fouled on the way to the rack.
Boy, Dennis Johnson, you can see the reaction he has. He felt it was a clean block. Let's judge for yourself. Scott bringing it up, gives it over to Rambis, who's a rather large person, to take it inside on a smaller man as Dennis Johnson, who's an excellent defensive player, and of course every year leads guards, maybe not every year, but many years leads the guards and blocks shots.
Dennis Johnson with 2 fouls. Lakers 4 for 4 at the stripe. And that was nothing but string music, as you could hear in the background. Lakers 75% of the line this year. As John already ran down, they are better than 50% from the floor.
You know, every team Kareem plays on, Eddie, is a good field goal percentage team because they go to him and they get good percentage shots, as they did in Milwaukee, as they've done in Laker country.
And then, of course, there's the other factor about how much better he makes the people around him.
That's right.
Dennis Johnson on the low post up. 6'4" guard. Bird inside. Tries to hammer home. McHale. And that's where the Boston game is strong. That inside game we talked about.
That's right, Eddie. They average 46 rebounds a game. A lot of those are offensive. They pound it good.
They come at you with monkey wrenches and chains. They do it all. They play you tough. And they are firm and they are committed. And they say, hey, we dare you to beat us in our place. That's the story, and that's been the tradition of the Boston Celtics. You got to get psychologically ready to play these guys. They are brutes, and that's why they're so much fun to watch. Wilkes and Jamal.
What an amazing shot.
Just a little swish. Maxwell. Ainge. In and outer. Maxwell. Cornbread Maxwell. And Maxwell now with a total of 6. Michael Cooper tries to spread the offense. McAdoo set up in the low hole. They go down on McHale. And Big Mac just had a shooting attack and dropped one home. It's 38-35.
You know, he has that little shot in front of his face. He has McHale on him. That's a turnover by the Celtics. He has McHale on him, who is the best shot blocker on the Celtics and one of the good ones in the league. And yet McAdoo very seldom gets that shot knocked back in his face.
There's M.L. Carr, 8-year man, 6'6", 210 from Guilford.
Now he's getting more playing time because Quinn Buckner has had a pulled hamstring and has been sidelined.
Incidentally, Dennis Johnson and Scott Weidman have also had ankle problems, but not affecting as McAdoo goes into the corner. He pops one from close range. 8 points for Big Mac. Yeah, but how sweet it is, huh?
Well, he gets some rotation on his shots.
How about the series of pirouettes? He thought he was Nureyev, did McHale. At that time, the judges scored him a little low, and he comes up with a traveling violation in the 12th turnover of the night.
He's probably the most relaxed player in the NBA, too, isn't he?
Oh, he's loosey-goosey.
He has a good time.
He'd be a good baseball player. He likes to have fun.
Yeah, hang out in the clubhouse.
Hang out, chew some tobacco. And another traveling violation. They're trying to do the hat dance inside, John, and it's not quite going over here in Boston.
This is the most traveling calls for one half I've seen in a game this season. And they are traveling. I'm not criticizing the officials. There are a lot of travels.
And we have a timeout. Timeout. They're going to grab some water and grab a few carrots and see if they can chase the old rabbit here tonight. It's 40-35 the Lakers with 7:58 and a half, and we will return. Team, so it's no surprise that you have a lot of turnovers, but that is a little high at this stage of the game.
It sure is, Eddie, and if they continue at that pace, and you see the rebounds, if they continue at that pace, they're going to beat their averages for the year. Have some interesting history here for you. On this date in 1960, this is Celtic history. Bill Russell, remember him? He grabbed a career-high 51 rebounds, Eddie, against Syracuse.
Some teams never get that in a year.
Hey, they had to miss a lot of shots to get that many. And in 1981, Dave Cowens, he was a great one. His jersey, number 18, was retired to the rafters here in beautiful Boston Garden.
Collecting dust with the rest of them, just like yours is in the Milwaukee Arena.
But they painted this ceiling, and it's a little brighter in here now.
Well, that's why his jersey's got some white specks all over it. Huh?
Yes.
Danny Ainge. And Ainge pops from long range. Remember one thing, the Celtics are an outstanding offensive rebounding team. They have 14 rebounds in the game. 7 of them are on the offensive end. Let's see where we are now with the Lakers into McAdoo. Kareem is on the other side. McAdoo with a good curl inside, that time to Larry Bird. And on the up fake, he put him in the air and turned it inside to an easy 2. 10 for Mac off the bench. Ainge from Maxwell, Bird inside. M.L. Carr's down deep on Jamal Wilkes. They interchange on the baseline. There's Danny Ainge on a McHale screen. McHale with the offensive rebound. There it is again. In and out, and oh, how good he is at that. And Bird started up the floor, then turned around, and a deflection off of the hand of one of the Lakers, and Bird made it happen.
The Lakers trying to get that pass out quickly, but something that the Celtics are doing, Eddie, is they're coming back and they're playing the passing lane on the outlet, and they force some turnovers because of that. Going to get the Magic Man back, you can see.
Magic Johnson, the Lakers round out their unit. Ideally, Pat Riley would like to get his team down to 8.5 men. Swen Nader being the half man to replace Kareem from time to time. On the fall-away jumper on the baseline, McHale in the mist, and Michael Cooper, who's a flyer, and down, and he loses possession of the ball and another turnover.
Wow, that's 14, isn't it?
Yeah, they're getting high. Carr
Oh, that's not his.
Hook didn't want it, that's all. Bird on the save, tried to get it inside on a hot potato pass, and it's out of bounds. It'll come back to the Celtics with 6:40 in the half.
Bird, absolutely one of the best I've ever seen at making that type of pass up in the air. As a matter of fact, Maxwell didn't expect it.
Magic in, Byron Scott goes out. Ainge, Robert Parrish will get a call now from K.C. Jones, who incidentally was the coach of the month in January. As the Celtics went 11-1, and now we're going to have a foul called on, let's see, is it on McAdoo or is it on Maxwell?
McAdoo.
Bob McAdoo. Right now, the Lakers 60+%. The Lakers, the Celtics 50+%. And we have another timeout with 6:29 to play in the half. It's the Lakers 42 and the Celtics 39. We will be back. Number 18, Dave Collins, Havlicek. Number 17, Don Nelson's numbers up there, number 19. And on, number 6, Bill Russell. Bob Cousy.
Who are all those guys?
And what do they do when they retire all the numbers? And they got to start a new numbering system here. 101, 113. They've had a few great ones here, that's for sure.
Yeah, they sure have. Eddie, you don't think the big men are important in this game? The front court scoring was like this. For the Lakers, of their 42 points, the big men up front have 36. For Boston, of their 39, the big guys, 31.
That's what it's all about. Pounding it outside or inside. ML Carr forcing into the hole. Parrish on the give and go. Clean and pressed by Magic Johnson, among the leaders in steals. To Jamal. Draws the foul. The shot won't go, and Danny Ainge is the man who will send Jamal to the line. Danny Ainge and Tree Rollins. You remember that matchup last year. Tree got hungry, and Danny was the guy that suffered.
Well, here you see the replay on it. And actually, this is a 2-on-1 break, and the two players, the two offensive players, that's Wilkes and Johnson, a little close to really run that. You might have wanted to spread the floor a little bit more, but of course, Wilkes and Johnson both having the size advantage. Wilkes just took it on Ainge.
6 for 7 at the line, Los Angeles. Jamal Wilkes is a 74% shooter this year, and he's 74% career. Well, I told you he's consistent. He doesn't miss a beat, that fella. Ainge want to go to McHale. McAdoo up overplays the passing lane. They have to reverse the ball to the other side. Ainge on the point. Flash Parrish through the middle. Kareem is on him. Clock down to 10. They go to the Chief. Tough to stop on the fadeaway. Robert Parrish, who has bloomed here in Boston. 43-41 now. What a pass. And inside, Jamal.
How beautiful. Right in front of us. That went between the outstretched arms of one of the Celtics players from midcourt. Magic, absolutely the best at that type of play.
Shoehorn. And we got an illegal defense call against the Lakers now. So both teams with one. Gerald Henderson will get a call from K.C. Jones. And the Lakers trying to cheat over into the paint that time. Got caught. And it's 45-41, but now neither team can really afford to get burned. You see the numbers on Pat Riley.
Yeah, I remember when he was a rookie. I was playing with San Diego, so was he. He tried to beat us all up for a job. He was tough.
He's a mugger.
Yeah.
McHale with it, knocked out of bounds by ML Carr. Carr's a hustler. He's had some injuries the last few years, but last year he put in some time, and this year even playing more. Well, they are a very deep team. Carr goes out. Gerald Henderson from Virginia Commonwealth comes back in. Cooper and Johnson, that's 6'6" to 6'9" on the back line. You've got Jamal Wilkes and the big man. There they go to the king. Sky hook and a pair. And it was at the other end of the floor, a little deeper on the baseline. Johnny Mack was in the game, and I was calling it that we saw and heard the sky hook that went around the world.
That's right, a very simple play. Put a shooter on his side and play a little four-man basketball. Just pass it into Kareem and try to get him isolated.
Magic Johnson on top, slow it down. McAdoo.
McAdoo.
2 more. You know what, John? The man that was playing Kareem when he hit that famous sky hook that enabled the Bucks to win that game eventually in double overtime was Henry Finkel.
Yeah, that's right.
And High Henry is here tonight watching this game.
At the same end of the floor, the hook came on, and that's the end you're looking at.
Yep, same end of the floor. He was on that side, too. Kareem was on the other side. There he is.
There he is.
Hey, Hi Henry.
Hey, Henry, say hi, big guy.
Smile, Henry.
He didn't have that beard then.
He's got his Kenny Rogers look on tonight.
Yeah, he's got his guitar over there with him.
They try and finally get it to McHale. There he is. Kevin McHale.
Eddie, I was playing with Henry Finkel in San Diego, and we were in training camp, and I was standing in the middle of the floor after we scored, and they were all running back down to the end of the floor. He ran right over me, stepped on my chest. I said, Henry, didn't you see me? He says, hey, man, you got to get out of the middle of this thing. He ran right over me.
Meanwhile, Magic on the steal. A little falling leaf when he laid it in. He just goes up there so softly and just laid it over the farther end. 51-45, the Lakers.
He really is fun to watch. I mean, so is Bird. Bird is exciting to watch, but I think Magic is perhaps the most exciting player in the NBA to watch play this game.
For a basketball devotee, this is like a smorgasbord tonight. I mean, you can step up to the table and eat all night long because these guys are the very best. They got stars coming in after stars. Mack out, Rambis in. Rambis was the missing link when he came to this club as a free agent and filled in, and they won the title. And Pat Riley says he's a guy we have to have. He'll give you 6 and 7 minutes at a stretch as hard as he can go. Watch him now.
Role
McHale on him. And McHale takes it in.
McHale is such a good basketball player. He is so big. He is so hard to stop inside, and yet he'll take you outside.
McHale averaging 18.2 points per game, and he's at 14 already and off the bench. And they're within 4. And Kareem with the baby hook. And the big man has 14, and he still can do it.
Yeah, he's close to that 9 field goal.
Oh, it's McHale on fire. He's got 16 markers. And he's keeping the Celtics close as the Lakers have got it going pretty good here tonight. Lakers with 7 in a row. Celtics 9 of the last 10. McHale with a rebound. Scores on one end, rebounds at the other. Parrish in the middle. Henderson on the wing. And it's a 2-point ball game with 3:01 to play here in the half.
Eddie, part of the strategy by the Celtics was to pick Magic up inline to inline, and we could see Henderson on that play go right to Magic to prevent the ball coming into him in the backcourt.
A 22nd time call by the Lakers and Pat Riley as he huddles his group around. We've said that Riley would like to get to 8.5 men by playoff time. Ideally, he'd have Rambis in the starting unit. He'd have Cooper, McAdoo coming off the bench with Worthy, and that man, Red Auerbach, who knows a little bit about bench work, and Donald Gaston, who is the big boss man. Right now, just trying to figure out if he wants to get excited or just kind of take it easy. Big Don must have had a large, long flight in here today or something.
Well, I'll tell you, this is anything but a boring basketball game, that's for sure, and I'm sure that wasn't what it indicated. And, of course, he's sitting next to the man that can tell you all about it. Look at this man, at this, I started to say Madison Square Garden. Remember, the old Garden looked a little like this. At this Boston Garden, it's a lot brighter than it used to be, Eddie. They've repainted it and made it a lot nicer looking building, but it's a great place to play in.
I drove by here at 8:30 this morning, John, and they had lines a couple blocks long waiting to get in here. Get a ticket for this one tonight.
You sure they weren't waiting to see you come in the building?
They were. They were waiting for me to hand out the soup, I think.
They kept saying, to the back, little guy.
It was cold here today. And checked on the way through. Magic Johnson fouled by Gerald Henderson. That is a matchup the Lakers must take advantage of. 6'9" on 6'3".
Right. Now look, you can see Gerald Henderson giving up a lot of size. Magic gets around that free throw line. He's tough to stop.
Got to play with the rubber bumpers if you're going to play with those guys. On the cut to the middle, Kareem on the give up. He couldn't get what he wanted. He gave it to Magic. And there's that being aware, that reactionary basketball. Magic saw the big man couldn't do it. He flashed to the hoop. He got it back and laid it in. 55-51.
Very easy.
That's a Hoosier jump shot.
Yeah. Hoosier? Who's that?
55-53.
Mine wasn't quite as pretty, but it went in as much.
I don't know how a guy that learned how to play in those 10-foot ceiling buildings got such an arch in his shot.
No, that's true.
Parrish to Bird to Henderson. He had a chance to mark it and couldn't. Down go Dennis Johnson and Rambis while the action goes the other end. Stop and go. Michael Cooper. Jamal. Magic. Kareem flashes middle. And out of bounds off the hand of McHale. And we have ourselves some game here with 1:50 to play in the half. We'll have a feature on Larry Bird, and John will interview Robert Parrish. Oh, they ran a sweet little curly cue inside. Cross-picking in the lane. Parrish got left in the lurch, and Kareem with an easy layup.
All it takes is a little bump, and Parrish was bumped by Cooper. He couldn't get to Jabbar in time.
4-point lead. Double up on the ball. Giving some help on Bird. Cooper all over. Forces and hits. Tough. You couldn't make it. any tougher.
You know, Eddie, he's one of those players that can shoot leaning back away from the defensive player. A lot of guys have to jump in, but because he can lean back, he can stick it like that.
That was a horse shot. That's the kind that puts the E on you in a game of horse. Here's Kareem. Look at the big man. Active, live legs. He's 36. Comes up a little shy. Parrish with it, and we're down to 109. Henderson. Magic backs up in the paint. Henderson drills it. And we are all deuce at 57. You gotta love this one, folks. Johnson. Kareem, weak side cutter, Jamal, and the big man with that shuffle pass, and Jamal with an easy pair. He's got 17.
And Jabbar can pick out the passing lanes well and connect on it, and Wilkes moving without the ball continually.
Parrish, jump hook by the big man. And we are at 59, 37 seconds to play in the half. And I gotta tell you, the tempo is sky high right now.
And the Chief, he got the little hook in deep position that time, not turning to the jumper, but fooling him and coming to the hook.
Swin Nader wants to come in and give Kareem a rest for the remainder of the half. I doubt he's going to get in. Final 27's ticking down. Down to 17 seconds now. And they'll let the air out of the ball, put a little molasses on the action here, and it'll be Gerald Henderson, and they'll work for a final shot. I don't think they're going to get Kareem out, so Swin's trip to the scoring table may go for naught. Parrish, Hoop didn't want it. That's the end of the half. What a half it was. And as they say in the NBA, it was absolutely fantastic. With the score, the Los Angeles Lakers 61 and the Boston Celtics 59. Halftime. John will talk with Robert Parrish, a feature on Larry Bird, statistics and more, and we'll have it when we return after this. 159. Very quickly, the team statistics. Lakers red hot 64, Celtics 52%. But look at 10 more field goal attempts by Boston. Free throws, Celtics perfect, Lakers not bad. 20-15 rebound edge going to Boston. The turnovers hellaciously high, 13 and 12 so far.
Fairly even, Eddie, but the reason the Celtics had more field goal attempts, they had 9 offensive rebounds. The Lakers only 3.
The Chief on the miss. Here come the Lakers on the move. Magic Johnson, Kurt Rambis. They swing it down on the inside. Byron Scott, who'll be a wizard before it's all over. And there he is, and an in and outer. Hoop didn't want it. Rambis with the offensive rebound. And this might be the starting unit you'll see playoff time for LA. Dennis Johnson. And now it's 61-61 a pair. And we're rolling at the Garden in the second half. DJ with 6 coming into the game. Dennis Johnson averaging 13-2. And they said he wouldn't fit in the beam. He's fit well. Sky hook.
That's where it was.
Just about there, a little deeper, about 17 feet out. Rambis with the offensive rebound. Kareem keeps it live. Jamal on the trampoline, and they are in the toaster now. Popping up and down in the clear out. Henderson, he dropped it, and nobody was there except Rambis. Rambis to Jamal. And their bodies askew in the Garden and all over the place trying to pick up the loose change.
And that's a foul on Gerald Henderson. Good effort by Henderson. He got caught up in the air. He left the floor at the other end. And here's the scoring. Of course, Jabbar and Wilkes, the big guys. McAdoo scoring quickly off the bench. Magic Johnson with 5 assists to go along with his 4 points. But that foul was on Henderson diving for the ball. Bird 16, McHale quick 16. Parrish not getting as many shots as we may see him get this second half.
Cornbread with 6, and the action on the floor looked like McLaughlin diving for all that loose change after he just hit the jackpot at Reno.
Those dimes and pennies, man.
You saw those eyeballs clicking. Johnny Mack on the floor picking up those dimes.
And Magic, his eyes clicking then. He got inside, went to the left-handed hook. I've got a left hand.
63-61. Lakers by a pair. Bird on the post-up. They double down. Back to a loose Henderson. Hello.
And that's what the Celtics guards have to do, Eddie. When the Bucks had success against them last season, any club tries to push them to the outside, and if they knock it in, then that just makes them doubly effective.
You pressure them inside. Now the Lakers take it inside. Parrish and Wilkes, little hand fighting going. In the middle on the break, Dennis Johnson on the wing, Maxwell to Johnson. And the Lakers have now fallen behind for the first time in a long time, 65-63. Foul, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. The Lakers took the lead at 2-0, 4-0, 4-2. As a matter of fact, The Celtics have never led in the ball game until now. 65-63.
Now that foul on Parrish, it looked like Jabbar was over the back, and the Celtics put people very upset about that, but the official says that he was elbowing Jabbar out of there, so that foul on Parrish.
I checked that. The Celtics did lead it 29-28. That's the only other time. Johnson to Bird. Gerald Henderson into Parrish. They swing it outside, trying to force it inside. Henderson again, air special. Bird, good as a pass. He'll take the 2.
That's right, offensive rebounds. That's the 10th for the Celtics. The Lakers have gotten a number of them here in the first period, or the third period. They haven't been able to put them in.
Jamal Wilkes. He just dropped the velvet hammer on the Celtics, and it's 67-67 a pair as they yo-yo it around. Bird. He does it so well, John. Doesn't have to square up, as we mentioned. He's just got all the shots that you could ask for.
Yeah, he's one of those players that does not have to square up, and that's something you can't teach.
20-20 vision and 20 points for the night for Larry Bird. Magic with an in-and-outer and in. Hoop said, I don't think I want it, but I'm going to go get back and get it anyway.
He was backpedaling with a look on his face like, I knew it was going to roll around and go down.
The Shamrocks in their 38th year in the league. Back they go, and what do we have? My, oh my. Illegal defense call, second one of the night.
You know, Eddie, Bird is not that quick.
No, that's the first, pardon me. That's the first.
Excuse me, he's not that quick, but because of the deceptive moves he has and the way he can step back and take that jumper, he can get that step on the defensive player.
Kareem on the rebound. I thought that was your second defensive call. Evidently not. Johnson slips down deep into the corner.
Excuse me, he's not that quick, but because of the deceptive moves he has and the way he can step back and take that jumper, he can get that step on the defensive player.
Kareem on the rebound. I thought that was your second defensive call. Evidently not. Johnson slips down deep into the corner in front of the Celtic bench, down to Rambis. And we got a little check and run shot inside, a little bumping job. You see in the background Jamal Wilkes going over getting a little rosin for the hands, a little dust they put on the hand. On the foul. It's the third on the Celtics. Cornbread's got number 1. Johnson, give and go, backdoor. Very slim opening back there. Try to dish it into the crowd. Kareem is very upset, and he's letting Bill Oakes know about it in no uncertain terms.
Yeah, he's saying that ball was deflected away. The Celtics cut off that passing lane quickly.
Lakers trying to relieve some of that congestion inside, give Kareem room to work. Oh, boy. That's that old hot knife through butter trick by Gerald Henderson. He's got 8.
Henderson's an interesting player. He can shoot it outside good enough. Not great range, but enough. There's an air ball by Magic, and yet he'll take it to the hoop. Henderson, that is. Look at that.
Fill it up. And a possible 3-point play. Boston 73, Lakers 69, and a sellout Garden crowd is on their feet right now.
And the Celtics doing it with fast break basketball, and of course the Lakers will continue to come at them. But Gerald Henderson with good quickness, he's a fine little guard, scores 2 straight. And here you have Maxwell making the play, and it's a real advantage when you have forwards that can bring it up and you see the contact.
Rambis with 3, he'll go out. McAdoo will come back in. Casey Jones takes the opportunity to chat with Larry Bird off camera, and Gerald Henderson will go to the line. 78% free throw shooter. Quite a story. Drafted by and cut by San Antonio. Came here as a free agent, made it, and you can see it even back in his first year in '79 with this Boston team. He was going to be a player, and he's turned out to be a good one. 74-69. Celtics once led by 10. They now trail by 5 to Kareem. Next field goal, a record setter. There it is. He'll stop the game.
Yeah, he got it.
There it is. That puts Kareem as the #1 field goal maker in NBA history, surpassing Wilt Chamberlain.
You know, he acts like now he didn't know it, but the way he reacted when that ball went in, I thought sure he knew it.
And he raises the fingers, and he has just been congratulated. Pat Riley, the Laker coach, Robert Parrish, and there's Kareem acknowledging the sellout crowd. This is as knowledgeable a basketball fandom as you're going to find in the world, right here in Boston. And let's listen. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 15-year veteran UCLA. The crowd still on their feet. They are letting him know how much they appreciate all the entertainment, all the thrills that he's provided them over the years. Officially, 12,682 field goals made in this brilliant career of the man that I choose to call the King.
Fantastic player. You know, I helped him score a few of those,
You
man.
helped make him look good. I know.
You know that?
How many years? How many years?
I helped him get here. You know, I love this Boston crowd. I always love playing here. You're right. They're very knowledgeable, and they appreciate good basketball, even if you're on the other team.
McHale. I'm looking at that championship ring you're wearing, John McLaughlin. I think Kareem had a little bit to do about that.
Hey, easy, boy.
I know what you mean.
Yeah,
I got one of those myself.
You're going to be telling your grandkids you had something to do with it, right?
Very little. Just screaming. McAdoo. And McHale with a rebound. Outlet. Here they come. Henderson, the right wing. Bird is on the left side. Maxwell flashes inside, low left. And they have a double screen set on the left. Henderson.
That's the value
points.
of quickness, Eddie. That's how he got away from a much bigger man in Magic Johnson.
And the offense did a good job. Spread it out, let him work, create that opening. Jamal, and the hammer has dropped again.
Gee whiz. You know, that's such a long shot for him because his momentum was actually carrying him to the sideline. And with that straight shot he has, very little arc. It went in.
76-74. Celtics by a pair. Kareem now chasing that points total record established by Chamberlain. Maxwell gets it back. 3-second call in the lane. Here's a number to put in your computer, Johnny Mac. If Kareem averages 19.7 points per game the rest of the season, he will surpass Wilt Chamberlain as the all-time leading scorer in NBA history. The King and the Lakers, they trail it by 2.
A bit under it, but on the other end, the Celtics shooting at 62%. They're 8 for 13, and a lot of those coming on shots by Gerald Henderson, a couple of layups and some jump shots. So Gerald Henderson getting hot for Boston.
The Birdman, 6'9" and 220, 5 years Indiana State. The #1 assist-making forward in the NBA the last 2 years. He can shoot it, he can pass it, he can rebound, he can play the game. He's complete, as John said at the outset of the game. McAdoo, Bird with a rebound. Averages about 10 boards a night. Not bad. Henderson. Bird's gone to the perimeter a little bit more this year than the driving layups that he's had in the past. But he's got people taking care of the job inside, so he feels if he can flare out. Interchange on the weak side. McHale. Bird posting up. He's got Cooper in deep. Henderson's been hot. Rolls the lip of the rim. Wilkes with a drop leave feed. Magic in the middle on the fly. Left wing. Cooper rhythm bounce. And you can mark 2 and tie it up at 76-76 all. I know my dear mom's enjoying this one down at a hospital in Florida, and she says the food is great and the service is just as good. I want the doctors to take good care of her.
Well, she has to. She's used to good food.
You bet.
Yep.
The chef is standing by.
Yep. He can cook it.
Here's Jamal.
And he can cook it.
Magic Johnson. He's cooking. He's shaking and baking.
Boy, he goes for the ball. They look for him on that break, and he can make a fast break out of situations that aren't.
Maxwell. It's down to 5 on the shot clock. Pinned in deep, and Jamal with a saving pass. No look time. And an offensive foul. A no-look Magic pass, and McAdoo could not quite pull it off. This is something.
Good defense by the Celtics. At this point, there's 6 seconds on the shot clock. Wilkes, he goes all the way across court to get it out, and Magic sees the play inside, but it's one of those wipe-away jobs.
And for the Lakers now, that is turnover number 14. Maxwell, cornbread from UNC Charlotte. And McAdoo from UNC, the big school. He's saying, hey, what's this Charlotte stuff? And Maxwell trying to get it out of the court. And up ahead on the break after the steal. And a foul call. We're going to get Mike McGee. You talk about an open floor player. Not a great defensive player, but he can wail away in the open floor. And the foul is called on Michael Cooper. And his first of the ball game. We have a timeout. And everybody is in the spirit of things now with 4:22 to play in the third. And it's all tied at 76. 2 to play here in the third period. Eddie Doucette, John McLaughlin. We have already had one milestone established here tonight. Kareem is now the #1 man in field goals made in NBA history. You like to see what players do away from the ball. The good ones know how to move. Watch Larry Bird.
Okay, this is a set play. Bird's on the free throw line. Now he's going to circle around McHale. He posts up here. He's actually open with good position, but McHale doesn't make the play. Jabbar's up on him. And of course it didn't pay off that time, but Bird with great inside position for the offensive rebound, and on the miss, it came back to the Lakers.
Looked like a dog going for a nice meaty bone that time, didn't it?
Milk bone.
And we got another bumping foul inside. And it's on Kevin McHale, his first. Los Angeles 27 rebounds, Boston 27 rebounds. The Celtics 10 on the offensive end, the Lakers 9 on the offensive end. Magic on the flare to the middle. Worthy, and there's McHale with another rebound. Kevin McHale. What do you think he did on those cold nights in Hibbing, Minnesota? Went in there and beat those boards, didn't he?
Pound those boards.
Kicking violation. Do anything to keep warm.
I bet he hung on the rack so his arms would get longer, too.
I think he did. I think his folks did that every night. Kevin, 2 hours on the rack.
Yeah, that's probably after he packed all that food in.
There's McHale. And he got a facial on that one. Put it right back in his face. And a jump ball as he very alertly tied up Mike McGee, former Michigan great. 6'5" and 190 against McHale. And McHale with those long arms and a 6'10" stature will go up against him.
Now look, Jabbar inside. Actually, McHale slips there. He's a pretty big player inside. Good defensive help on the weak side. Strong side then, I guess, when you're in the middle. Both weak and strong come together at that point, huh?
Little sandwich job. 76-76. Dennis Johnson as the Lakers control the tap. Magic. McGee now playing on Gerald Henderson. Along to Maxwell. Checked by James Worthy. Kareem has got McHale. Johnson played by Magic. They slip down into the paint. A whistle and a foul. And going to the line on the missed shot that time. Larry Bird, he's got 20 points.
I can't believe he got that shot off. What he did, he came up into the middle to post up, and then he spun around the double screen. The defense adjusted and picked him up, and he drew the foul.
They've not had a lot of free throws tonight, but when they've had them, they've made the best of them. The Lakers 8 for 9, the Celtics perfecto, 6 for 6. Bird.
That's how NBA teams should shoot free throws. A lot of them do not shoot free throws well, and that should not happen.
Bailed out of Indiana University, stole away in the middle of the night, ended up at Indiana State. Got a little homesick. And he had quite a career down there. And he makes a pair, and he's got 22, and the Celtics now with a 2-point lead.
Actually, he was closer to home at Indiana University than he was at Indiana State. Smaller, though. He needed smaller, I guess.
Small town guy, right? Kareem skyhook, almost got decapitated. Worthy with the offensive rebound. He almost got his head taken off. And Bird bangs the ball hard to the floor. The parquet here in Boston.
All right, look at it again. Kareem on the miss here. Now watch Worthy come in, get the rebound. Bird goes up after the shot. He obviously felt he blocked it, but Worthy is a player, Eddie, that really has good jumping ability. He plays rather big inside, even though he's big, but in this game, he's not as big as you might think.
Larry Bird with his 3rd personal foul. Boston now over the limit. That's the 15th foul, and we're at the 3:13 mark here of the 3rd period. 3 points for Worthy, and that is his 4th. Worthy is learning to become more of a player. He's not standing around like he was last year. He is involved. Pat Riley's got him going aggressively to the baskets at both ends. He can play the power position or the finesse position at the forwards. When he's in there at the power position, he's learning more and more how to play that spot. Becoming more complete. Dennis Johnson, Magic with a rebound. Hook lead outlet. Worthy on the curl. And a falling leap with that little finger roll. Up to Bird. They got the running shoes on now. Got it away. Cooper tried to get a piece of it, and Bird at the other end. Boy, they're like shooting ducks in a gallery now. Magic on the running jump hook, and my goodness gracious, the pace is red hot, and the Lakers with a 2-point lead.
I can't do anything but laugh here the way these guys are coming back at one another. Match this. Well, match this.
This is outstanding. This is quite an entertaining show. We're going to get another zone call or an illegal defensive call. We don't use that word zone, Pat. Riley's saying, where was it? Danny Ainge is saying, I know where it was. I'm coming in to relieve Gerald Henderson. And because of the second call in the game, it'll be Larry Bird strolling to the stripe. 24 points for Bird. Gerald Henderson and now Casey Jones will call Ainge to the sideline. And neither one of these teams have done a lot of substituting. 8 for 8 at the line for the Boston Celtics here tonight.
Bird a little upset with the officials, the way they laid the ball down, so he threw it back to Paul Mahalik as the other official was counting off the time limit.
You get 5 seconds once you get it, or 10 seconds once you get it in your hand to unload the free throw. 5 seconds is the call on the inbound pass from out of bounds. Bird, when they whistle a technical, the Celtics got it back, and they had 19 on the clock when they got it. Bird unloads the shot with 14. Cooper to Magic. Cooper 6'6", Magic 6'9". Kareem at 7'2", McGee at 6'5", and Worthy at 6'9". The Laker 5 on the floor right now. Give to the big man, cut to the hoop. Kareem with a turnaround. The big man has got it rolling now. He's got 23 points. He was the star in the win in Indiana last night. 33, a season high, and the big sky hook with 12 seconds remaining to win it for the Lakers.
You know, when he first came to the Milwaukee Bucks his rookie season, he said, I'm only going to play 4 or 5 years. Look at Bird.
Bird offensive rebound. Kareem with another year left in his contract after this one. And then he'll slide away to his mansion somewhere and enjoy the fruits of his labor.
And travel and take it easy, huh?
He's a smart man. Magic Johnson. They sagged. They gave him the outside shot. He said, you're going to do that to me? You don't challenge me. I'm going to put that in. 86-83. Lakers now with the lead as they've yo-yoed it here in the third quarter. McHale drives down on Kareem. They double down on the ball. Back to Dennis Johnson. Remain fairly silent. Ainge outside. He's shy. Bird with the offensive rebound. There's that offensive rebounding prowess. And out of bounds and back to Boston. 24 in the shot clock, 101 in the third period.
Larry Bird is absolutely impossible to keep off that offensive glass.
Now Swen Nader comes in the ball game. Kareem goes out. Nader comes in. They'll inbound the ball. There's McHale. Nader is on him. McHale pump fake. And an offensive foul. As McHale trying to create a situation on a Cole Nader in off the bench. Nader has the strength of a junkyard compactor, but the gentle disposition of a pediatric nurse. He's an outstanding human being.
He sure is. This is the first time I've seen him play since his injury. I haven't seen the Lakers with him this season. Look, he gets the inside for the rebound.
There's Nader on the miss, and Maxwell with a rebound. Missed the lob. Nader on the follow. Look at him fill it. Oh, that's Celtic basketball right there.
Boy, Bird didn't hang on to that pass at all as he made the play quickly, and that's what helped set it up.
86-85.
Boy, Ainge looked like he was heading down to first base after he laid a bunt down. He moved so quickly on that.
Backdoor jam by James Worthy.
James Worthy can play now.
He can play. James, of course, who had that compound fracture of the leg and had to come back, tough rehabilitation. And his absence, along with the injury to Bob McAdoo, did not help the Lakers in their chances in the playoffs last year. But Worthy is back. And he and Magic are the future of the franchise. Final second shot, Dennis Johnson. Now that's a good man to take that shot, John, with 2 seconds. He is their best three-point shooter, albeit only 29%, but he's the man you want to take the long bomb.
Well, not too many teams take that three-point shot that often in the NBA. You might have expected some to use it more than they are. The percentages might be a bit better if they were using it more often.
2 seconds, doesn't start till it touches a hand. Nader with a shot, and that's the end of 3. So we've played 3 at the Garden, and the Lakers have come back and gone on top by 3. It's 88-85. It's the Lakers and the Celtics, and you couldn't ask for anything more than this. James Worthy, Michael Cooper, Magic Johnson, and Mike McGee. For the Celtics, it'll be M.L. Carr, who played at Guilford College. Danny Ainge at the guard. Scott Wedman at one of the wings, first time on tonight. Kevin McHale on the hole. No, check that. Robert Parrish in the hole. McHale at one of the forwards. Magic played by Danny Ainge. Rub him off a pick down to James Worthy. They were in that little two-man game, and it was outstanding basketball. Lakers 39% in the third. Celtics 44%, so they've cooled down considerably. Lakers with a rebound edge in the ball game so far. Wedman inside, then cuts to the hoop, back to Ainge. Pump fake, puts Magic in the air, tries to drop, leave the feed. Lakers with a 2-on-1 break. Worthy with a jam over Scott Wedman.
Oh, boy, Worthy really getting out of the break quickly. That was good defense by Cooper, who deflected that pass by Ainge. Had Ainge connected on that pass, Eddie, it would have been a beauty.
Wedman is 6'7", 220, a 10-year man from Colorado. Good defensive player, even though his offensive game has outdistanced his defense since he's been in the pro, but he was a second-team all-defensive team player one year.
And how difficult it must be for him as Ainge on the outside.
And McHale with a follow tip.
How difficult it must be for Wedman. Here's a man that can play professional basketball. He's been an all-star. He's an excellent player. Since he's come to Boston, he gets no playing time because of the people in front of him.
Dnip did not play. That's what you see in the box score next to his name most nights. Magic, but that gives you an idea of the depth of this Celtic team. And Magic Johnson, the pride and joy of Lansing, Michigan, lights up the house here in the Garden with a smile and with his 16th point of the night. 92-87 is our score. This one will go right down to the wire, it looks like. Wedman tried to cross it over, and McGee or make that Michael Cooper on the foul. Oh, Cooper.
Now look at the difference. Look at the difference in the builds of these two teams right now. All the Lakers players other than Nader, very slim. And of course, strictly a finesse game. For the Celtics, you've got some strength and power out there in Carr, McHale, even Wedman, who's built pretty good.
Nader's all over Parrish. Wedman lost it, gets it back. Clock continues to roll. It's down to 7. Carr with a steam shovel layup. Had a little French pastry on that baby. Big hoop for ML. And his first two of the night, and it's 92-89.
Yeah, he's got to wear those special-made shirts for those sleeves also, those long arms.
He'll fall back. Worthy on the baseline. He's got 2, and he'll go to the line for a possible 3 on the McHale foul.
Boy, he is doing it. He's been the offensive power over the last few minutes for Worthy, taking it to the hoop and jamming it in this situation, working the baseline. Watch this, a little one-on-one situation. He just squares up on McHale, who is a good defensive player, a shot blocker, and takes it.
Nice little rocker step that time. And Worthy with a 3-point play. So James Worthy now starting to build points. That's 13. He's averaging a little over 13 for the year. Becoming a very consistent player, and exactly what the Lakers knew when they drafted him #1. Good. Ainge 3-pointer. Bang. Cooper can't. Wedman's got. Inside pass. That's McHale. And Worthy on the reach over foul. Now credit Scott Wedman with a very intuitive play right here. He would have had it blocked had he shot it. He didn't know the man was this close, but he saw his teammate underneath. Totally unselfish.
Now look how sharp this is by Wedman. Quickly with the pass. And remember, we told you, here's a man who is not playing much time at all. As a matter of fact, we'll look it up here. Wedman is playing 11 minutes a game. So he can't remain overly sharp, and yet that was crisp.
21 points for Kevin McHale. And Wedman can put his name next to the last 3. 95-92. Magic Johnson sagged down, trying to slough that top guard inside. Worthy on the carryover with a left-hand hook across the lane. Block, gets it back, 6 on the clock. Nader with a rebound. Big Swenson, the backup center to Bill Walton at UCLA. And a man that has been around. And you talk about sheer strength. They don't come much stronger than Swen Nader. Checked out of bounds with 16 on the timer. They're going to bring Jamal Wilkes back in the ball game. Magic Johnson will get a reprieve, and Jamal will come in just in time to inbound the pass. The Lakers set up 2 on the right side of the lane, 2 on the left. They curl Cooper around Nader. Nader piles inside low on the right. Stack set on the right side. Nader with a pin down, trying to free up Jamal. Jamal with it on the right corner. Wedman tried to clean and press him. It's down to 4. Inside pass picked up blindly, but it's Nader. He laid it up, reject, follow Nader, no. And an almost 24-second violation. Carr to Ainge. And Nader over the back, banging the drums now. And out of there comes James Worthy. McGee, trailing play, Nader, jump hook, got a good hook. And that time it hit the rim and out of bounds, and it'll come back to the Celtics.
We've seen some excellent defensive plays inside, especially by Parrish. Parrish blocking one shot by Nader, who had good deep position. And then Nader on the second effort turns his body, gets the jump hook, but still misses because Parrish forced him to turn away. How could you not move to the edge of your chair on this one? A very exciting game and a 20-second timeout call by K.C. Jones. 4th-year NBA coach. He had to sit a spell before he got a chance again, John. You remember the years he had at Washington, but he has come back and he's doing a fine job here, and the players really enjoy the way he's handling this team. All right, now we're going to look at Nader's shot again, the second one. Now watch. He sets it up nicely. Nader's had a good jump hook over his career. He's had a bad knee over the last few. He's worked hard on it. But because Perry stepped up at him, he forced Swin to turn his body, protect the ball, and go to the jump hook that came up short.
Nader, they had hoped that he could give Kareem anywhere from 18 to 20 minutes a game. He's not getting that much playing time, and there have been rumors that possibly Bill Walton would be brought to Los Angeles in a deal with San Diego. Kareem, however, is back in now, and Nader, who's been averaging 13.5 minutes a game, will go to the side. On the offensive boards, the Lakers have only scored 6 points, but the Celtics have scored 18. That's their game. And the Chief on an in-and-outer. And here comes Cooper. He runs like a cheetah. And Carr with a foul. And Carr with a foul there that took the Lakers out of their running game. There's none faster than this Michael Cooper. I think he trains on the salt flats. He's trying to break those land speed records.
You must have to buy one of those belts. You got to tie in a knot, boy. He's so slim just to hold his pants up, huh?
95, 92. He's got one of those 24-inch waists, I think. That's exaggerated.
He's got a waist a lot of women would like, huh? That.
Larry Bird up ahead, deflected. Danny Ainge comes away with it.
This thin gives you quickness in this game, and of course that's something that's natural in Cooper's situation.
The Birdman. McHale wants it on the left side. He gets it on the post-up.
Oh.
McHale. He tries to get the roll of the rim. And an offensive foul called against the Boston Celtics. And this one will go against 0-0, I believe. No, it's on ML Carr. That is 3 on the Celtics in the period. The Lakers have 2. And this is where these team fouls become so important. McGee will come over and see what Pat Riley wants and then get the inbound pass. Dennis Johnson comes in and ML Carr goes out for Boston.
Carr getting that foul because that ball hung up on the lip. Carr was in good position, but finally players started pushing around inside.
Cooper under pressure from Gerald Henderson. It's a 3-point ball game, and we're getting down to the big moments here. 7:15 to play in the fourth. Down to 4 seconds. Wilkes with his eye on the shot clock. Inside to McGee, and then honeycombs and pops out. The Celtics with a rebound, and Henderson with the bring down. Harris with a turnaround. Bird with a rebound. Up and down, and a foul called, and Larry Bird will go to the line. And that basket attempt while he was on the floor didn't count. The youngest coach in the NBA, Riley, says, what's happening?
Okay, shooting percentage is dropping drastically over this last stretch, but look at Bird gain position on the offensive boards, and this is how you do it well. He comes back into the paint. He can't quite get that off, but the foul occurs. Then he throws it up with the left hand and makes it.
Mike McGee on the foul. We have a timeout on the floor. And now you know why we call it Special Edition NBA Basketball on USA. I know he's going to make some changes. Timeout situation. Mark these and keep it in mind. The Lakers with 4 plus a 20. The Celtics with 2. Now, John, those are very important numbers to keep in mind. Close ball game. They'll need everything they can get right now. You see what's going on right here. Field goal shooting percentage has completely dropped off from where it was in the first half. Now 3 for 10. And the defense is starting to wear the offense down, and you come up a little short. Ball is on the rim when you get a little tired.
Yeah, and Boston continues to hit the offensive glass, and that's been a real factor for them, not just tonight, but throughout the season. So the Lakers have to really be concerned about blocking them away. And starting at the start of the game, Pat Riley said, you know, we want to run our offense, but we don't want to rush our shots. And still, they're getting them up quite quickly.
95, 94. That's how close it is. 1-point ball game. And even the termates are coming out of this old ancient parquet floor to see what's going on tonight, as the King has just skyhooked one in. 97-94. A very opportunistic basket by Abdul-Jabbar. He's got 25, and Bird now will orchestrate to Parrish on high.
You know, Jabbar has taken the most difficult shot in the game, the hook, and made it look quite easy.
Oh, he is a master at it. Bird says, I want it. He's got it. 6'9" over 6'6". Double on the ball. Completely transcontinental. Henderson with no time on the shot clock, and Kareem, the leading rebounder for the Lakers for the season, pulls one down. Boy, these are big tours of duty down the floor for each team. Magic. They have a double screen set on the left. Cooper comes behind the screen. It breaks down, and Jamal goes out to get it. Trying to get to Kareem. Deflected by Parrish on the overplay, and Bird back to Gerald Henderson. Dennis Johnson inside, doubling up. Henderson on top to Parrish. He can hit it from there, and he does.
Every time he releases the ball, it looks like it's going to go straight up and come down short. But he's the guy that set it up at the other end with the good overplay defense on Jabbar.
And it's 97-96. We have 14 on the shot clock. The Lakers to the king. Skyhook in the paint. And another three-point lead. And he is ready for the challenge tonight. On his night, a milestone for Abdul-Jabbar. In case you joined late, he surpassed Wilt Chamberlain for the most field goals made by one person in the NBA's history. And he has made a ton of them, believe me. Dennis Johnson on the line. Iron, rebound Magic. Lakers by 3, chance to balloon to 5. Jump hook, and he's got it. And the Lakers now have opened up a 5-pointer. And Magic Johnson with 18. And time is not becoming an ally to the Celtics. 4:45. The Chief, offensive rebound. Dennis Johnson stayed right with it, didn't he? Well, he got bumped on the way up, and just to show you how strong he was still able to get the shot away.
Well, we've talked about offensive rebound many times tonight for the Celtics, and now you see Dennis Johnson getting in with Parrish taking the shot. And Dennis, over the years, Eddie, has been a good offensive rebounder. He's a big guard that will hang around the boards. He's done it well, of course, in Seattle and Phoenix prior to coming here in Boston. He draws 2, and it's important that he get them with 4:35 to play.
Dennis Johnson used to jump center when he was at Pepperdine. And he misses on the first, and that is the first missed free throw of the night for the Boston Celtics. Dennis Johnson, second-round draft choice of Seattle. Last year at Phoenix, he averaged 19.5. He's a very, very smart player. He's a durable one, too. He's only missed 15 games in 7+ years. Boy, durability, such a great key. The great athletes, Pete Rose and Abdul-Jabbar, they all play, and they play hard every night. On the miss by Kareem. Dennis Johnson, loop into the low box. Parrish, Johnson, reverse it nicely. Henderson, they've left him open all night long, and he has responded beautifully.
That's that intermediate shot, and you're right, he's been quite open on the weak side, and I'm sure that's something Pat Riley wants to talk about as the Celtics swing the ball.
And the Lakers call for time. We're at 4:06 to play here in the 4th period. You couldn't ask for anything better than this one. It's the Lakers 101 and the Celtics 99. It's 101-99. That's where we are. Time-wise, 4:06. Timeouts-wise, I think I said that right. The Lakers, I think, have 3 remaining in a 20. And the Celtics have 2.
How about a hand?
Give that guy a big hand.
Yeah. Hey, Eddie.
Hey, there you go. That's what I like. He heard you.
That guy has some short arms, doesn't he?
Hey, that guy's got a great job there.
Yeah, that's right. But I think the turnovers haven't changed a little more cautious in the second half. At halftime, there were 12 and 13 turnovers. Now 16 and 17 for these teams apiece.
No turnover there. James Worthy with his 15th point, and it's a 4-point ball game.
He good.
You know who's pulling the string on that guy's hat?
No.
Red Auerbach.
Tattoo.
Larry Bird. The Celtics are starting to force it now. Parrish, well, he has to fight for this one, and the Chief can't get it. I think what they need is Kevin McHale back in there, John, for some offensive boards.
Well, here, I'll send a note over to KC. KC, Eddie said you need K.
Forget it.
I think you're right.
Bird will inbound with 24 in the shot timer and 3:33 to play here in the 4th period. Parrish. They flash Maxwell middle. Parrish in the miss. Maxwell, Parrish. Parrish has got it. On the drive. Now that's a great move by Parrish.
That's right.
The worst thing that can happen is an offensive foul. But more often than not, you're going to get the call, and you're going to create a situation.
That's right, Eddie. No question about it. And on the miss, they get the long rebound that goes over the head of Jabbar and another player.
Magic Johnson, Kareem fighting inside. And they double down and take it away. And Parrish to Bird. On the outlet, Maxwell has to hold up, but he'll take it in anyway. And on the overland with the left hand, a foul called on Michael Cooper.
Boy, Maxwell looked like he was going to jam the ball home. As we see at the other end, the Celtics doubling up at the right time to force the turnover on the inside play by Jabbar. Look, it looks like he's going to spring into the basket and jam it, but he has to change to the other hand. That's a good foul, at least put him on the line, although Maxwell can stick him in.
That is the 5th team foul against the Lakers. penalty situation in. Maxwell at the line. Is he a good free throw shooter? Well, for the year, 74%. But we told you last year he was at 81%.
Right, he always hangs around that 80 mark, Eddie. Another factor here at Boston with only 3 team fouls.
Very, very important now as they have tied it at 103-103. And there is not a soul who knows anything about basketball that could say that these guys aren't giving it everything they've got. And that's all a fan can demand. Worthy. They clear out the side. Comes to the middle. On the isolation. He got it. Excellent execution in their half-court game by Los Angeles.
Worthy has great hands, Eddie. He can take the ball up and flip it down. He's got the jumper. He's got the hook. And they're going to both sides, posting up. Jabbar on one side, Worthy on the other. That's the Lakers, now the Celtics.
2:25 to play in the fourth. Henderson, notice how they're spreading it out. Want to give inside action as Maxwell forcing, but Parrish on the tying basket.
Boy, Parrish really a factor here going down the stretch. He's getting some big ones for the Celtics.
15 for Robert Parrish. Old 0-0 against old 3-3. A great matchup. Parrish overplaying Kareem. Magic trying to force it into the hole. There's the big man. They double him down. Jamal from the corner. Hey, my goodness, did he drill that one.
Boy, Jamal comes to the ball so well, and so many times he'll be the guy in the corner there for Jabbar, but he had to come from the top of the circle all the way around.
And no emotion, just as cool as can be. As cool as the weather outside in Boston tonight. Wind chill factor's got it down close to 0, I'll bet. The Hawk is reigning in the Beantown tonight. Parrish forces a tough shot. Maxwell laying in the weeds, gets the big rebound, and Dennis Johnson is the outlet. Henderson on the drive by Kareem, off the hand of the Los Angeles Lakers inside with 16 on the shot clock, 1:27 on the game clock. The Celtics will get it back, but before that they'll take a timeout. Oh my goodness, K.C. Jones.
That only leaves him one timeout, Eddie.
Where's Sam now is what K.C. is saying. Come on, Kuz, give me a hand. We're at 107-105. We have 1:27 to play in this one. And what more would you like? The Boston Celtics, a team with unbelievable tradition. And a winning tradition that adds up to big victories. They've won 60-plus games in 3 of the last 4 years. They have won 38 and lost 10 so far this year. They're right on schedule for another 60-win season. And, of course, the Los Angeles Lakers, they've been battling for that world's title so many times. Many times they've come up short. But in the era of the 70s and early in the 80s, they've won 3 World Championships. And as long as Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar can get up and down the floor, you know they are a threat. There's the Laker huddle. Hello to the Youngs in South Carolina from Laker trainer Jack Curran. He's a man that keeps that club together.
Yeah, he's been in the league quite a while. Seattle prior to that. And there's the story, 1:27 to play. The Lakers up by 2, 107-105. I love to watch these teams play, Eddie. They run well, extremely well. That's quite obvious. They also execute half-court offense quite well. And the offensive rebounds, a tremendous factor in this game. And you can see for yourself, we've talked about it all night long. 21 offensive boards is phenomenal. The Lakers only had 3 at halftime. They now have 12.
And in the field goal shooting percentage here in the fourth quarter, John, the Lakers 9 for 17. They've started to uptick their field goal shooting. They're now at 53%. And the Celtics have slid a little. They are 7 for 22. That figures out to 32%. As far as points are concerned, off of rebound situations, and this is exactly what you were just saying.
That's right.
The Celtics 22 points off of rebound situations, and the Lakers only 8.
Eddie, if the Celtics win this game, you must credit the primary factor, the offensive rebounding they've done here tonight.
Larry Bird, Robert Parrish, Gerald Henderson, Dennis Johnson, they're at the free throw line, the last 2 names, and Maxwell just under the basket in the middle of the paint. They'll break it. It'll be Bird to trigger. They get 5 seconds to get it in, and they have to swing it way out on top and initiate the play from out on high. Parrish sets up along the lane to the left. They go to Parrish. He wants to curl to the middle. He has to jump hook as Kareem gave him all the defense he could handle. And a big defensive play right there by Abdul-Jabbar. And you can see the time is starting to slip away. Down to the 1-minute mark. And the Lakers with a lead in the ball. Kareem back to Magic on the thrust. And the 6'9 Magic Johnson does what we talked about before. You take it to the hoop, something good usually is going to happen.
That's right, and this is the time to take it to the hoop. He had the open jumper for a moment, but he didn't take it. He faked the pass back in and then took it to the hoop to draw the foul, and he's orchestrating at this point, much like the great Oscar Robertson used to do in the key games. He called Kareem over. He said, come on, Kareem, come to the side. We'll play a little two-man basketball. And, of course, that drew the foul eventually and put him on the line. Now, here comes McHale.
McHale now coming in with under a minute to play in the ball game. If I had one thing that I would second guess about the game, John, would be the fact that McHale probably could have been in here a little earlier,
yeah,
at least, unless there's something wrong or unless they have certain minutes that these guys are supposed to play.
Now, Dennis Johnson is the only legitimate guard in the game. Bird will go on the back line with him, although Magic is matched up against Maxwell up front.
Plenty of time. We're down to the 50-second mark. Underneath and more, Dennis Johnson, and it's a two-point ball game. But here's where the Celtics are so good. 11 points for DJ. With McHale, Parrish, and Bird, they're showing a lot more leg up front than they were moments ago.
Important key shot there for Dennis Johnson.
Magic, Dennis Johnson backs him inside. Down to the big man, swinging on top. Jamal again, smooth as can be. Oh, man, does he break your back? And what did I say before? For the night, Jamal Wilkes now at 25 points, always right around the number. You know he's going to give it to you night in and night out. Johnson, Parrish, will follow.
Boards.
We've got it down to 15 seconds now, John. Make it 16 seconds. 111-109. The Lakers in control now as they go to Kareem.
Got a foul. They should have fouled Kareem, Eddie. They should have fouled Kareem.
Down to 7 seconds. Jamal inside. Pin. Block shot. Who's got it? The Celtics. Can they call time? No time left. I believe they had a second left, and they're going to say no, they do not get any time left. They do not get any time left. I believe that there was 1 second left.
Nope, they're saying no.
But the officials are saying no. And a hairline decision here at the end has prevented the Celtics from maybe getting one more shot at it.
Wow, Wilkes wide open under the basket. Why the Celtics didn't foul Eddie, I do not know, especially when Jabbar had the ball, because he's not that good of a free throw shooter. Kareem shooting 68% from the line, and then they leave it open underneath. Wilkes missing the shot. The Celtics had a chance to get it back. They didn't call time in enough time. We're going to look at it again. The last play, okay, 14 seconds. Now watch, Magic passes up to Jabbar. This is when you have to foul. Okay, if you can't steal the ball right away, look, there's the guy you want to foul, but they're not up on them. They weren't ready to really pressure defense. They have bigger guys in the game. Look at the shot clock going down. Wilkes wide open. Great defensive effort here by Maxwell. He blocks it from behind. By the time they get control, now watch. No one is calling time. There. You see the Chief, Perry, starting to call time as it hit one, but it went on and ticked off.
So the officials right on top of it. And what a fitting way to end it, as the Celtics come up just a little bit shy. Fitting in the standpoint that it was a close game.